I did see her once, just once, and I can tell you, she is nothing like Esther.
In what way?
I think he's gonna be
Vashti is proud and haughty. People avoid her like a locust plague. But Esther, you just cannot dislike her, or even be jealous of her beauty. She has it, but she does not flaunt it.
Bow before Haman, first prince of Persia.
Misha, look, it is one of the princes.
Bow before Haman, first prince of Persia, by order of King Ahasuerus. Bow before Haman.
That was Haman. He has been exalted above all the princes, and he loves every minute of his glory.
Do not say that. You know how he hates the Jews. Suppose he hears you.
And that loudmouth with him, that was Jamshai, his attendant. He is almost as arrogant as Haman, if that could be possible.
Misha, please.
Well, I will tell you, Keturah, I have no respect for either of them, and Haman especially. The only person he wants to benefit is himself.
But tell me, Arshan, how do the other women feel about Esther being chosen as queen? Are they upset with her? Are they jealous?
Not at all, Mordecai. From what I hear, there has never been such peace in the house of the women.
I am so glad to hear that.
Esther does not use her charm like some other women.
It is as if she is not even aware of it.
She is modest, respectful, kind. Look, here comes Hathach.
Yes, I know Hathach well. He is Esther's personal attendant.
It's Blake.
May you have peace, Hathach.
Blake, I
You
think
bring good news, I hope.
I do.
When it just came out.
Harbona, court official of the king, has sent me to inform you concerning the word that you spoke against Bigthan and Teresh.
Yes, and it was reported to the king by Esther.
And a thorough investigation was made.
Yes, Hathach? And what was the result?
Bigthan and Teresh were hanged on a stake. The king has no tolerance for traitors. If you had not overheard those two men plotting in the king's gate, well, I fear to think what could have happened.
May the king prosper, Hathach.
But what is to be done for Mordecai for uncovering this plot against the king?
I seek no reward. I did only what I thought to be proper.
That may very well be, Mordecai, but Harbona said nothing of a reward. He too questioned the matter, but he feels that as an attendant, he has no right to speak up. But do not worry, Mordecai. He plans to refer the matter to Memucan so that the princes can speak in your behalf.
Ah,
Prince Memucan, may you have peace.
May you have peace, Arshem, and you too, Mordecai. You speak well, Hathach, and what Hathach has just reported is true, Mordecai. But what the king will do to reward you, we do not know. A record has been made of your loyalty to the king.
with all due respect, I am not looking for a reward. I did only what I viewed as my duty. I am sure that anyone else would have done the same.
Perhaps not, Mordecai. Bigthan and Teresh are not the only ones who would like to see the king deposed. Please, Arshem and Hathach, could I speak to Mordecai alone? You are a good man, Mordecai, and a trusted servant at the king's gate. The exposing of Bigthan and Teresh is the talk of the king's court.
I did only what seemed proper.
But there is a matter that troubles me deeply.
What is it?
It is the matter of Haman, the one who is now second only to the king. As you know, the king has made a commandment that everyone in the king's gate must bow down before Haman, because he has been elevated above all the other princes in the kingdom.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
But you, Mordecai, you refuse to bow to Haman. Why do you refuse to obey the order of the king?
In this one thing, I must.
But why? Do you see my attendant standing over there?
Yes, I know him. He is Hilkiah.
Yes, Hilkiah. Haman hates Hilkiah. Do you know why? Because he is a Jew. He hates all Jews. But let me tell you something. As much as Haman hates Jews, he hates you even more. He is incensed that you refuse to bow down to him.
I appreciate your warning, Prince Memucan, but I cannot bow to Haman, even though the king has commanded it.
But why? Why would you risk your life for such a little thing as... Haman is coming now. Mordecai, I beg you to think about what you are doing.
Mordecai, you despicable Jew. Why are you continually sidestepping the commandment of the king?
I I do not disobey the commandment of the king, Haman. I am a loyal subject of King Ahasuerus. All the king's orders I readily obey, but in this one matter I cannot.
How dare you refuse to obey the order of the king, to give honor to the one whom the king has exalted above all other princes? You think you are better than me, but you wait and see, Mordecai. You do not know what is in store for you and for all of the Jews. So, you will not bow before Haman. Aha! But you will, Mordecai. Mark my words. You will.
Oh, Mordecai, my worst fears are realized.
Who knows what Haman will do?
Why can you not just bow to Haman like everyone else? We are slaves to the Persians, Mordecai. Slaves. And Haman is second only to the king. And now you're going to get us all in trouble.
Hilkiah, watch your tongue. Mordecai is an officer of the king's gate.
Why must you disobey the order of the king, Mordecai? Why?
Hilkiah, my son, you too are a descendant of Abraham. Your forefathers were with Moses when Jehovah delivered them from Egypt and from the hand of Amalek. Can you not remember that?
But what does that have to do with the here and now? We are not in Egypt. We are under the law of the Persians. And when the king makes a commandment, it must be obeyed.
Mordecai.
Yes, Harbona, what is it? You look like one who bears bad news.
I do indeed. It's the worst news possible. You know that Haman hates you and has vowed to avenge himself because you will not bow before him.
Yes, Harbona. Speak, Harbona. What is it? What has happened?
Haman had the king sign a decree against the Jews.
Alas, our poor people.
Our doom is sealed.
I overheard Memucan and Karshina discussing it just a few moments ago. It seems that Haman has offered to pay into the king's treasure 10,000 silver talents of his own wealth in order to expedite the matter.
But what is the decree, Harbona? What will the king do to the Jews?
I do not know, but it must be a fearful thing because Memucan and Karshina were both extremely agitated.
Oh, Mordecai, how could you have been so thoughtless? You, a court official who sits in the king's gate. And now you have brought calamity upon us. We are finished.
There we go. There we go.
Let all loyal subjects of King Ahasuerus come near, and let all hear, even from India to Ethiopia, in all 127 jurisdictional districts, by the word of Ahasuerus the king. Let all the kings, satraps, and the governors, and the princes, and all the people become ready for the 13th day of the 12th month to annihilate and to destroy all the Jews, young men as well as old men, little ones and women, and to plunder the spoil of them. So it is written, and so it shall be in the name of Ahasuerus the king.
Adar the 13th, remember that day. You will not get off so lightly then, not one of you.
This is Mordecai's fault. I knew that he could bring calamity on us by refusing to obey the king's commandment.
But we must stand together.
You are just a...
All of us. Mordecai alone has had the courage to uphold Jehovah's law.
Mordecai has only brought trouble.
May Jehovah forgive us, and may she turn back on the heads of our enemies the wrong that they would do to us.
You are a fool, Misha, a fool. Jehovah has forgotten us. He has left us to die at the hands of